Thank you, Judge Chair.
Commissioner Ngukaitobi, do you still want to?
Thank you. Yes, I do. One of the judgments, I have 2 points to raise with you. One of the judgments you put up is the judgment of S versus Kanyele,
Yes.
which you refused bail to Kanyele, who was at the time a Fees Must Fall activist.
Yes.
I don't understand why you put that judgment up as an important judgment, given that it took an hour for the Constitutional Court to release him for 250 rand. And although there's no judgment, the questions were clear from the argument that your judgment was probably wrong.
Well, I wasn't there, firstly, Commissioner Ngukaitobi, and you appeared before me when you were dealing with a bail appeal. You appeared, and I wrote a judgment, and I assume that the matter, because I assume that you approached the SCA, I assume that you approached the SCA in order for you to eventually go to the Constitutional Court. But as you say correctly so, there is no judgment in the matter. So whatever it is that you say, I cannot vouch for it, but there is no judgment in the matter.
No, I understand that. I'm not asking about that. I'm asking why you thought the judgment is significant to be put up as one of your top 10, because it was run-on-the-mill application of the bail legal principles on the facts of Mr. Kanyele.
I put it up as one of the matters which were taken up on appeal unsuccessfully, in my view, because it ended up in the Constitutional Court, and in the Constitutional Court, there was no judgment. So I put it up as one of the matters which was taken up on appeal unsuccessfully.
But what's the legal significance? What's the principle that came from your case? That's the section in the form. You've got to say this is why the judgment is important.
64. Sorry, the question is, sorry, what's the question again?
Is what is the principle in the judgment that you were trying to highlight? I mean, the fact that there was an appeal to the SCA, which was not successful, but the Constitutional Court felt that he should be released, that's fine. But why did you put it up as one of your important judgments? What is the principle of law that it developed which didn't exist before?
It did not develop any point of law. I accept that. But as I've already indicated to you, I put it up as one of the matters that were taken up on appeal unsuccessfully. But when you ask me about the point of law in that matter, it was a bail appeal that served before me, and the High Court, can only set aside the decision of the magistrate if the magistrate was wrong. So that was the issue that was before me. I was not able to find that the magistrate was wrong. That's the reason why I refused the appeal. But again, going back to your question, I put it up simply because I was called upon to put up matters that were unsuccessfully appealed against.
But that actually is not true, Judge Tilly. You mentioned this case twice. At 16.1, you asked to list the cases where you've written judgment, not more than 10, which you regard as being the most significant, and why. And there is that case. It's listed there.
Yes, that's the point I'm trying to explore, maybe less clearly than the Chief Justice. Can you answer that question?
Well,
oh, well, you have, sorry, the one you cite under the heading list cases that were unsuccessfully appealed against is a Kanyele versus the state citation with a different citation. Are they the same matters?
Yes.
The other one is just state case number whatever under significant judgments.
No, it is the same. I mean, number 6 is exactly the case that I argued. And that's what I was trying to understand. Why did you put it up? Because there was no principle there as far as I can remember.
So is it not under the cases that were unsuccessfully appealed against?
No, look at your application form at page 10.
Have you found it?
Yes, I have.
At item 16.1, number 6. So that's Bongi Ngosi Kanyile's case.
This is in the house.
So can you answer then the Chief Justice's question?
Yeah, this is a mistake.
Yes, all right.
Yes.
Can I also ask
This
you
is a
about,
mistake.
No, that's fine. We all make mistakes. Can I ask you about something else?
Yes.
I was not understanding your ruling recently in S versus Zuma, where you first decided that you were not going to give written reasons for a decision not to recuse Mr. Downer.
Yeah.
And then you change your ruling and you postpone the case in order to give reasons. Now, I understand that the substance of the reasons may be a subject of appeal.
Yes.
But I'm very concerned about your consistency as a judge, where today you wake up, you say one thing, tomorrow you change it. And you are, in my view, damaging the perception of the administration of justice. What is your response to that?
I have to tread very carefully when it comes to that, because that matter is sub judice.
No, I don't know the substance of that's what I said to you. What I'm worried about is your consistency as a judge, where you first tell a litigant, I'm going to do X, then you change and you say, I'm going to do Y. People want to know that when judges say X, they mean it.
Well, I had my reasons, Commissioner Ngukaitobi, which I don't think it will be appropriate of me to say now.
Are they part of the appeal? Your reasons for changing your mind?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. But in that case, you should not answer them.
All right, fine. Thank you, Chief Justice.
Commissioner Magena, you had your hand up.
I had my hand up, Chief Justice, and I just did not want to disturb other commissioners with follow-ups. Judge
Clearly.
how are you?
I'm good.
I'm good. I've got a question relating to reserve judgments. The JP and Commissioner Hassan asked you about this. And my questions are actually focused on transparency in the judiciary, judicial accountability, as well as public interest. You would know that ground up lists reserved judgments and invites members of the public to submit comments or to submit matters where judgments have been reserved for a long period. And I, in all fairness, thought that I should ask you this question because there are two matters listed in ground up that shows that you reserve judgments for more than 1 year, 2 months in both of them. Are you aware of those matters, number one?
I think the other one is a criminal matter where I wrote judgment for the full court.
No, there's no criminal matter here. It's N.E. Zondo versus S.V. Lagasi.
I see.
And 20 others. The other one is N. Mangaru versus Minister of Police. So I would want to assume both of them are civil cases.
Right.
And Commissioner Hassan asked you if you've got difficulty with judgment writing. But you'd know that if these matters are listed on ground up, the public would want to know why would the JSC appoint a judge to be the deputy judge president when that judge is not able to account for his matters through his judgments.
Let me begin by saying that as far as I'm concerned, I'm doing very well with regards to the reserve judgments. Then Zondi, I remember. Is it Zondi or Zondo? Zondi. Is it Zondi or Zondo? In this matter, I remember it very well. What happened in this matter is I heard the matter, and after having heard the matter, the parties indicated that they were going to settle the matter. So they forwarded documentation to say that they are going to settle the matter. Then thereafter, they decided to change their minds. So when they said the matter was going to settle, after having heard it, I shelved it, I put it aside. And it was only after they changed their minds that I decided to write the judgment in the matter. The Mangaru matter, that's a Durban matter. Counsel in this matter, after it was a trial, this one, Mangaru, it was a trial. Counsel indicated in this matter that they wanted to introduce further evidence. I was very reluctant to allow that, but I gave them time. And when they approached me in chambers very late, after having indicated that they were going to lead further evidence, it was late at the time, then I decided I'm not going to allow them the opportunity to lead further evidence. That's the reason why the matter was delayed. Immediately thereafter, I wrote the judgment in the matter.
Thank you, Chief Justice.
There is also another matter. I think it's not coming up because it really worried me. I even discussed this matter with the JP. The reason why I'm saying this is because I don't want to leave an impression that I have a problem with writing reserved judgments. There is also another matter that involves, it's a criminal matter. I reported that matter to the Judge President. I finished writing judgment. I was described in the matter. It was a full court judgment. I was described sitting with one of my colleagues who is a permanent judge and the other colleague who is an acting judge. Having scribed that matter, I finished scribing the matter. I approached a colleague, the permanent judge. We finalized the draft. Then we sent the draft to the acting judge. It took months until I had to report the matter to the Judge President. But the Judge President at the time had to report the matter to Judge Matondo, who was the acting at the time. So that is one of the matters that was reserved for a long time, but it was due to no fault on my part.
No, fair enough.
Yes.
I thought I should put that question to you because when somebody reads ground up and is not aware of that explanation,
yes,
the impression he or she is left with is that this is a judge who has difficulty delivering judgments.
Yes,
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner Mangen. I don't think you need to worry in respect of the last line of questioning, just really.
Yes.
I have no doubt that if you were a delinquent who delayed delivering judgments, JP Boyodwati would have raised that concern with you. Just to, Commissioner Maruma, do you have a question for this candidate? Is he there at all? Thank you. Commissioner Breitenbach, do you have questions for the candidate?
Good morning, Chief Justice. Thank you. Now I'm covered.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right, just to round off, Judge Trilly,
yes,
I just want to probe a bit deeper, but we have to do it briefly, into the issue you identified as your biggest concern in the division. I'm quite worried by the revelation of disunity in your division, and I would just like you to explain to us, just in brief terms, how it manifests itself and if it does not affect the efficiency of your operations down there.
Well, it doesn't now because the present Judge President has dealt with it. But there was a moment where there was that division in the division I don't want to delve into depths with regards to that, perhaps as to the source of that, but perhaps in private, I don't know, you can talk about it. But there was that division. But the judge president, as I already indicated, has dealt with it. And as I
So
already,
there is no longer disunity.
there isn't
Oh,
disunity
all right.
anymore. There isn't.
Then what you said misled me. I'm sorry.
No.
All right. Commissioner Kotsa?
Sorry, I tried to get your attention earlier, CJ. I just wanted to go back to the reserve judgment, if I may.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I just want to follow up in the second application by Mr. Zuma for the removal of Billy Downer.
Yes.
You delivered a relatively simple ruling, but that ruling took 5 months to deliver. Can you explain why it took 5 months?
I did second most of the time.
Excuse me?
I did second most of the time. Second duties.
Maybe just explain to the commissioner what second duty is.
If you are out of the office, if you are working out of the office, doing criminal work outside of the office.
Yeah, I understand that, but the question is, it was a very brief ruling. Why does that take 5 months?
Which one? Which ruling are you talking about?
The second application by the former President Zuma to have Billy Downer removed.
Oh,
It's the one you gave on the 11th of
CJ?
September.
Can I just try to clarify for Judge Clearly? So that he can, and I'm not going to answer, don't worry.
If that will assist us.
No, CJ, no. The question has been put before a candidate. He must answer for himself. Please.
The JP has said she's not going to answer the question for the candidate, and I'd like to think that she means what she says. So I will give her a chance to give the explanation. Go ahead, JP.
Yes, and may we be protected from Commissioner Malema because you are the one that must rule on the issues. Judge Clearly, the question was, you reserved a ruling after argument. So what I wanted to assist with, was that in the course of a criminal trial or was it in the course of an opposed application?
it was in the course of a criminal trial.
CJ, may I? I don't know what protection do they seek from you against me. Exactly what I anticipated. Commissioner has asked the question. The question is not being answered because she says she's going to try and clarify the issue without answering for him. Instead of doing that, she asked another question on top of the question of the commissioner, which is not answered. And we're looking for answers for that.
Sorry, can I respond to this, please? That's
Respond, Judge.
yes. I initially stated to the commissioner, I asked a question that I was doing circuit duties. And when you're doing circuit duties, you are not in court, you work outside of the court. It was a criminal matter, it was an application brought in a criminal matter, and I had to avail myself to deal with that matter. I would not have reserved judgment and given the judgment to another judge to hand it down. So I will have to be available in order for me to hand down the judgment because it's a criminal matter. It's an application that was brought during the course of a criminal trial.
Commissioner Gotsa?
I will, I understand what circuit duties are.
Oh,
CJ,
thank you. No, okay.
I was a judge's registrar for a very long time.
Oh, yeah, you did say.
But it doesn't really answer the question, but I will leave it.
All right, that is the answer. We'll assess the candidate on how he responded. If the merits and demerits thereof, we'll deal with later. Was there another hand? No? All right, then I am covered in respect of that issue. We have reached the end of your interview, Judge Clearly. Thanks very much for making yourself available for this position. Unless there's anything you wish to raise with us, you are free to go.
Thank you.
Okay.
CJ.
Thank